we are covering the 12 mandatory uniform provisions for the health insurance licensing exam. These provisions, developed by the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, or NAIC, must be included in all individual health insurance policies to protect you, the insured. On the exam, you will absolutely see questions asking you to identify which provisions are mandatory versus optional. They will try to trick you with questions like, all of the following are mandatory provisions except. The key is to recognize the mandatory provisions which always protect the policyholder, while optional provisions, like change of occupation, protect the insurance company. A helpful way to remember the most tested provisions is the phrase, the entire graceful reinstatement is incontestable. This covers the entire contract, grace period, reinstatement, and incontestability provisions. Let's start with the entire contract provision, which states that the policy, the application, and any attached riders make up the complete agreement. An exam question might ask what happens if an agent promised something verbally that isn't in the policy. The answer is that it's not enforceable because it's not part of the entire contract. Next is the grace period. The length of the grace period depends on how frequently you pay your premium. 7 days for weekly payments, 10 days for monthly, and 31 days for all other modes. The exam will test you on these specific numbers. The reinstatement provision is another favorite for exam writers. If your policy lapses and you're reinstated, accidents are covered immediately, but sickness has a 10-day waiting period to prevent someone from reinstating a policy just because they feel sick. A common trap is forgetting this 10-day sickness waiting period. The time limit on certain defenses, also known as the incontestability clause, prevents an insurer from voiding a policy or denying a claim after 2 years due to misstatements on the application, unless they are fraudulent. The claims process provisions are also heavily tested. The notice of claim provision requires the insured to give the insurer notice of a loss within 20 days. After that, the insurer has 15 days to provide the claim forms. Then, the insured has 90 days to submit the proof of loss. Remember those numbers, 20, 15, and 90. Following that, the time of payment of claims provision requires the insurer to pay claims immediately after receiving proof of loss. Another key provision is legal actions, which states an insured cannot sue the insurer until 60 days after filing proof of loss, but must sue within 3 years. Finally, the change of beneficiary provision allows the policy owner to change the beneficiary at any time, unless they've named an irrevocable beneficiary. Mastering these mandatory provisions, and especially their specific timelines, is critical for passing your health insurance exam. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word.com.